A few years back, Jack was chasing this guy. Bad guy. This guy ran into a building that was under construction. Jack freaked out, started sweating, couldn't follow him. Guy got away.
So a guy got away?
Yeah, well, later that night, that same guy killed 6 people. A family up in Ridgemont.
But that isn't Jack's fault.
Yeah, I know.
He can't blame himself for that. Things like that happen.
Yeah, well, he does. It's always on his mind. The guy that got away.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is Cheapseat Reviews.
Hello, and thank you for listening to
The
Cheapseat
Greater
Reviews.
Good.
Shut up, you asshole. Thank you for listening to Cheapseat Reviews, the podcast that explores the Hollywood film industry for the greater good.
Oh, the greater good.
You're a little early, just a little bit. Oh my gosh. How long have you been holding on to do that?
Oh man, 200 and something episodes?
No, we've not had that joke for that long, but I get your point. This is episode 220, and tonight we're talking about Runaway, the 1984 movie Runaway. I am Sean Allred, and joining me tonight is Andrew Prep the Floater Jimison.
That's pretty ironic.
Why?
I've been known as a floater all my life. People try to flush me, and I just won't
Go down.
go away.
I didn't know if you meant that or that you just kind of like float from place to place, or no. But you mean it.
Well, I also am naturally buoyant.
Sure, I get that.
Because extra flubber tends to be buoyant.
Sure, I'm with you. That makes sense. Aaron, news people all suck. Rogers.
But at least they get their comeuppance in this one.
Oh my gosh. So you heard me right. I said Aaron Rodgers. That's right. We have
So tell us about
Aaron Rodgers.
We have the Aaron Rodgers. I do want to know, what's it like dating Danica Patrick?
I don't know if I could answer that.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. This may or may not be the Aaron Rodgers that plays quarterback for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
But
I am the Aaron Rodgers. I'm older, so I've got the name rights first. So
yeah,
There you go.
So in my book, though he's not on, this Aaron Rodgers isn't on my fantasy football team. He is still the Aaron Rodgers. And Sam,
I do the discount double checks, Sean.
Well, that's
because I
true.
am an insurance agent.
You are actually an insurance agent too. That's right.
See, maybe he is the real Aaron Rodgers. Listeners, you just may never know.
Maybe he's the guy. Are you actually Jake from State Farm? Is that who you are?
I'm not wearing khakis.
Oh,
Nice.
oh, great. And Sam, acid to the face vector.
Acid, you can shove me in the face with acid.
Acid. I don't know how that would work, but yeah.
Oh, hey, Sean, it's great to see you. Just so you know,
Mm-hmm.
I've reprogrammed that microphone to stick a needle into your neck and give you some sort of shock / explosion / acid / I don't know, jiggle to death.
Yeah. It's going to move really slowly and totally avoidable and preventable, right?
Yeah.
Like I'll hear it first and it'll move really slow and awkwardly that I won't be able to get away for some reason, right?
But in the 80s, people were so enamored by robots that it's almost like a deer in the headlights when you see one. It's like, wow, look at that. And then it,
but robots
climbs up you and attacks you with a needle in the neck.
Robots are different though than toasters with arms.
Right. I'm okay. So let's pull up a comfy chair and dive into Runaway 1984.
Prequel to Castaway.
Yeah, this is not the Runaway Bride, and this is the Runaways. This is just 1984 Runaway, starring your Tom Selleck and that girl Cynthia Rhodes.
Yeah. By the way, it is a one-word title.
Yeah, Runaway.
Runaway, no space.
Yeah, Runaway. It's a Michael Crichton, based on a Michael Crichton book of the same name. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it up front so that we can get this part out of the way. And Andrew, I'm interested to see if you agree with me, because you're the one that's always kind of led the charge on this. Here's an 80s actress that's actually attractive.
Sorry.
Oh, the cat's sabotaging the show more than Sam.
Yeah.
Oh, I hear her. Oh. Is that an
No,
apple?
I think that was my stomach.
Oh.
Oh, no, that's an apple.
I was like, what, are you eating an apple? Is that for the cat?
Yes, I am. No, it's for me.
Oh, okay. So, Cynthia Rhodes, she's actually kind of hot, right?
Ish, yeah.
Yeah. I was
With the giant 80s hair and the...
Yeah, you can't help that. I mean, that's the product of the time.
I was looking at Kirstie Alley in this movie.
Kirstie,
and her hair was absolutely huge.
She needed it.
Huge.
Like, you could never do a close-up on her because you wouldn't fit her in it. Like, the hair was just so massive. I don't remember it being that big, but whatever.
No, when Kirstie Alley was in Cheers, it was
Shut
never
up.
that big.
You're such a
I
jerk.
don't think.
Why are you being mean to her? It's her name. It's her name. All right. So, Andrew, once you're done with that bite of apple, if you'll please tell us, what is Runaway?
In the near future, a police officer specializes in malfunctioning robots.
That's a weird sentence.
When a robot turns out to have been programmed to kill, he begins to uncover a homicidal plot to create killer robots, and his son becomes a target.
Okay, that's barely a
little nugget.
That's barely a plot point.
Like 3 minutes left in the movie.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys recognize the kid, by the way?
Yeah, is he from E.T.?
No.
Is that Elliot?
No.
I don't recognize him. I didn't know who he was.
No.
He's the kid.
Jeff Bailey.
He's the
GW
kid from
Bailey.
the Flight of the Navigator.
Oh, that's why he looks familiar.
Right?
Okay. Yep.
Aaron, did you see that? It's like kid finds a spaceship that's voiced by Pee Wee Herman.
I don't think I saw that one when I was.
Oh, dude, I grew up with that in the 90s.
Right?
Oh.
It was made in
Or
the
80s. No, it was 80s.
It was an
wasn't
80s movie. It was the first ever appearance of Sarah Jessica Parker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's like 16. And
Yeah, then her foot face was only a size 7.
I wasn't gonna go there, but I'll let you do it.
Oh.
Anyway, she was.
Well,
very,
we all grow up.
She was
Her
very.
face was as long as Kirstie Alley's hair was wide.
Wow. You're just gonna keep doing it, aren't you? Okay. So before we get into the meat of the show, there's something I have to get off my chest, and this is a pet peeve of mine, and I'm actually surprised it's taken 220 episodes to get this pet peeve out. But if you will all please take your attention to the IMDb page for this movie, if you have it pulled up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Look
I'm
at
there.
the poster. Anything wrong with that poster?
Yeah, he never holds that gun.
Yeah, he's holding
Yeah.
the missile gun, right?
I will say there is a scary spider robot about to jump on them, though. on the
Yeah,
bottom of the
yeah, and the
poster.
scary spider robot makes it look like it's 11 feet long. Like it's out of proportion. It looks really weird.
And then spider robot with 6 legs, not 8.
Right.
Ah, yeah.
So just the fact that he's holding the bad guy gun just pisses me off. Like,
Right.
I don't know why it bothers me, but I hate it when movie posters false advertise their own movie.
Yep.
And I will admit, Sam, and you'll appreciate this, my honesty in this, that in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, they also do this. That there's in the poster, it shows the Enterprise firing on a Federation starbase. It makes no sense.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yep.
It's firing on a friendly starbase. It never makes any sense. But anyway,
And Khan is sitting there cross-armed, blocking his gigantic, beautiful chest.
yeah. I mean, otherwise it's a beautiful poster. I love the poster. I really do. But that part has always bugged me.
It's a graphic designer that's never watched the movie.
Right, is exactly what it
Yeah.
is. Being that you are in fact a graphic designer.
Yeah.
You're not wrong, and that really has always kind of bothered me. So anyway,
Yeah, that bothers me too.
What was cool about this movie? We got to get in the poster.
yeah, the gun is cool for the time, but he doesn't hold it. It doesn't make any sense.
Ever.
If there was a scene where he wrestled with Gene Simmons, which by the way, Gene Simmons from Kiss is the bad guy in this movie. We have to make sure we say that. If he like wrestled with him and then shot him with his own gun or something, okay, fine. Then you can have that in your movie poster. You know, I need to get off this soapbox, but that's always kind of bothered me. I don't know why.
Well, not to mention the way the faces look on that poster versus their bodies. It's a total cut paste job.
Well, yeah, for 1984, I guess. You think?
I think it's horrible, dude. Look at the shadows. Well, I mean, we're talking about what you can see. It's not a real good podcast.
Yeah,
but,
I know. It's great for radio. You're not wrong. But
it just looks bad.
well, we also did this last week when you talked about the girl from
Iwo Jima.
the new movie, the Laura Croft movie, the Tomb Raider
Oh
movie.
yeah, with their giant neck.
With her
Their
weird
giraffe
neck. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not. Yeah. Posters are weird. I like movie posters, but in fact, this podcast used to be sponsored by allposters.com.
Until they never gave us any money, and we dropped them like a bad habit.
Yeah, something like that. I guess they didn't give us money because no one went to their website and bought a poster. Used our coupon code.
Our listener didn't go and do it.
Damn it. Single
Apparently.
listener who will remain nameless.
Yeah. They didn't need movie posters. I used to collect those, by the way.
So, funny story, the guy who I rent this house from that I'm currently staying in, he also collects movie posters. Now, Sam, you did it as a hobby, right? You probably have like 5, maybe 10.
I had about 30 to 40 at one
30
point.
to 40. Okay, that's a pretty good clip. I think Chris has 2,700.
Wow.
Wow.
And does he have them on display? No. He has a whole storage room devoted to them. He buys them and then packages them and puts them away. To him, they're investments.
Yeah.
Like you collect baseball cards. And apparently there's actually a big market for that. Like old movie posters, the original poster from Star Wars where it just says Star Wars and not A New Hope goes for thousands of dollars. And-
Well, I know I'd be looking for one of those original Jurassic Parks. I'd probably pay pretty good money for a
yeah, but you wouldn't pay
double-sided.
thousands, right? You wouldn't pay thousands, right? You just pay. I could
pay
see you
thousands.
I see you paying $150, $200 for that.
Yeah.
To get it nice and framed, but you would.
Buy it framed and put it in the basement.
Yeah, you'd put it like in your little space and have it to look at and to hold and say, "Hey, look at this cool piece of memorabilia from my favorite
Correct.
movie ever." Like
Smooch and
just
lick a
kinda
little bit every now and then. So.
You could put flavoring on the glass, and that way it wouldn't taste. You
It's a
go-
scratch and sniff, you know?
Scratch and sniff. Smells like blood and raw meat. Oh, great.
Yeah.
That would be awful if
smell of intestines being dragged out of somebody
Your
by
wife-
a raptor in the bush.
your wife comes in and spritz it with like Windex, and you go by and you're like, oh, it tastes bad. Damn it. Windex.
See, but you're assuming that anything gets cleaned in this house. So
I assume nothing.
anyway, this movie.
Yeah, so Runaway. Okay. So do we want to talk about why Michael Crichton movies don't make good movies? Because I mean, to be fair, right, Sam? To be fair, Jurassic Park is a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
The movie has almost nothing to do with the book, right? You know what I'm saying? Here are the similarities.
It's novel light.
Here's
You could have made 3 Jurassic Park movies out of novel material.
You're right, but they also changed characters, right?
Mhm.
I mean,
Hammond is no longer evil.
Hammond is an evil bastard in the book. He's a he's the doting old, happy grandfather,
yeah.
yeah, who just wanted to bring joy to children's, and so, and there's a lot of differences. So that's the exception, but and there's other movies that we're going to talk about later that we like. But I guess we haven't said it. Do we like this movie? Is this movie good? I know I haven't done the, give us your opening thoughts on the thing, but now's the time to kind of do that, I guess. I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, does this movie hold up?
No, not in any shape, form, or manner. In my most humble opinion, this belongs in the trash heap of Saturday afternoon 80s movies.
All right.
This is not a good movie.
Yeah. Aaron, what do you think?
I kind of agree with Sam, but I was surprised in a little bit of the sense that some of the technology holds up.
That is true.
Yeah.
The ideas
some of the ideas held up, like tablets and some handheld devices that they were looking at in the movie, and drones with cameras that floated around in the room and had a camera on it. I was like, whoa, that's kind of ahead of its time, but
where you can see the wires holding it from
yeah,
from
with the wires, but this was 1984, so I was kind of like, wow, this is kind of crazy that they had some of that stuff that actually is in existence now. So,
right.
But that was the only thing I could really say was interesting to me about it. I actually admittedly fell asleep during the movie.
Saturday afternoon matinee, just like exactly. But even the little farming robots are real now. Some of these mega farms out in the Midwest have these remote controlled, drones out there.
And it also kind of brought to my mind, I was in the Army, and it kind of reminded me how they had robots tracking down the runaways, the IED robots that we send out there to go disable the IEDs and stuff. So I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting, that they had the thoughts of that kind of technology. Yeah. But, I guess that's my take on it.
Well, there's one thing we can or not admit, but one thing we can. And Andrew, I guess you haven't chimed in yet. What do you say before I'll do my bit?
Sorry, stupid cat. I had to take care of some. Anyway,
just squirt it with water and move on.
I did right in the face. Ever
squirt me in the face
with acid.
Anyway, the movie
in the face.
I didn't hear what Sam said, but much like what Aaron said, I did not. My rule about if the movie keeps me engaged and keeps my attention, then I consider it a decent movie. This one did not, and I kept comparing it, and we'll probably get into this, but I kept comparing it to other things done in the 80s, especially 1984. And it just doesn't stack up with the rest of them. And I know that budget is probably an issue, but even the story itself, I just felt like it was dumb.
Yes.
I don't know. And Gene Simmons, I love Kiss, but I did not love him as.
Why was he evil? Did he ever say? I either missed it or I never got it.
I missed that too. I didn't really know why.
He's just a bad guy.
He was trying to do what he was doing. He's a bad guy. You're right. That's what the police chief said or something. I kind of remember.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's a bad guy.
Police Academy guy.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't enjoy it. I had to watch it in segments. I watched 10 minutes and I thought, dear God, this is awful.
Yeah.
And then the next 15, I was like, oh, this is okay. And then the rest of the movie sucked.
Well, when I was watching it, I saw several times some good, notes being made that you later on see in shows like ER, in terms of the dialogue when they're talking about technical stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of how ER was usually shot and directed, I saw a lot of that. But golly, even the beginning, for them to go out and go after this farming robot, There was no point. There was no reason.
Yeah.
For
I mean,
a
I feel like they're trying to
police
set up
force-
something that didn't need to be set up.
Well,
Yeah,
and-
it's stupid.
Okay, so that all right. There's a lot of there's a lot of things that really bother me in this movie, and that scene, the movie starts off with that scene really bothered me. Okay, first of all, why are the police handling rogue farm equipment? Right?
Exactly. That's for the IT guy.
Right. That's the farmhand's job.
Unless it really was a killer robot that was aiming for people, some sort of rogue robot that's mowing down people.
Fine.
Then I can maybe see police.
100% agree. Like what happened later in the movie when the robot killed the people, right? Totally. That's a police matter, right?
Yeah.
But sorry, weird noises are happening behind me. And it's actually not Sam this time. So they go to the farm and they run. They're chasing this little thing that's running through the cornfield, right? And they do. And this was the worst part of the movie. I mean, and in a movie that had a lot of bad, this got the biggest eye roll for me. They literally look down, they look at each other, head nod, and then dive on it like a cartoon. and then it just self-destructs for some reason. And then they come out and they're covered in dirt and smoke and whatever, and they're like, "Yep, job's done." Like, what?
Yeah, they totally lost me in that moment. Just totally lost me. It was so stupid,
so dumb. But back to your point about the dialogue, there's some good dialogue in this movie. I mean, the backstory is kind of tragic, so that's a trope, right? And and there's actually some lovable character, like Ramsey character, which, by the way, the word Ramsey is said like once every 2.5 minutes. Seriously. It's like almost as many times as the F word is used in Wolf of Wall Street. He's a likable guy. Like, he truly is a likable guy, and I like his character, and I appreciate Tom Selleck. I thought did a pretty good job as a cop. I enjoy, and it's every
That's one role that he does pretty well at.
Yeah, exactly. Since he's in a TV show for the last 11 seasons as a cop.
He was also Magnum PI.
Right. So he does that bit pretty well, and I thought his partner lady was fine. I don't think she was a particularly great actress, but I thought she was fine. But you got your yelling police chief trope.
I need to get some butts.
Yeah. You got. I wrote down a bunch of tropes in this movie. It just drove me crazy. But that scene with the farm animal, the farm tractor, that totally lost it. Oh, back to my point. I remember where I was going. Is that the dialogue is pretty good, and they did not treat, again, 1984, tech is scary and weird. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, and only one time, that I kind of go, that's not how tech works. You know what I'm saying? Like, Aaron, you've not listened to the show, obviously, long enough, which is fine. And one of my big pet peeves is when directors talk down to us as the audience, especially with technology, especially in movies made before The Matrix, maybe made before 2002, 3, 4, 5, when like movies like Hackers, where they do really dumb stuff that makes no sense. And one of my favorite movies that does this really well is Sneakers. Like, the tech is really good in that movie, and that movie was 1990. Because they don't talk down to you. It's just, this is the tech of the day, and this is great. So they do.
Like Swordfish is a great example of tech.
Awful tech. It's the worst. Well. It's so bad.
It's wonderful.
Stop it. We're going to do that movie. You have no idea. You have forgotten, sir. You only remember Halle Berry's boobies, and you've forgotten the rest of the awful that is that movie.
The only thing worth remembering about that movie.
Well, what else is there? Perfectly fine remembering that.
And the explosion, the scene where the dude blows up is actually pretty cool. Because you kind of do a little Matrix vision thing happening. But anyway, so I thought they did pretty good in the movie with that kind of stuff. They're talking about microchips, and they're using just kind of normal. They used a microchip. Like, there wasn't too much technobabble. So I give the movie a little bit of credit. But I credit that to Michael Crichton, who does meticulous research on his books.
Yeah.
Crazy research. Have you guys read, Sam? I think you have State of Fear.
Yeah.
The one with the
Is that
global
climate change?
the climate change with the eco terrorists.
Yeah.
That's such a good book, and they'll never make it into a movie, but it's such a good book. And he did so many hours of research for it. And basically, his conclusion was, we don't know enough about climate change yet. Is basically what it boils down to. And that book came out like 10 years ago. So anyway,
as we have a monster hurricane bearing down.
Yeah, literally, as we record this, I'm about 230 miles away from Hurricane Florence. So, batten down the hatches. Okay, so some of the tropes I wrote down. Cop has family issues. Kid wants dad to get married. There's always a guy who hates the nerds for some reason. We had a police foot chase, which didn't go through a kitchen. I'm actually surprised. They actually didn't do that trope. I'm genuinely surprised.
Everybody's in their chef whites.
Right. And they're yelling and they drop food and knock things over and angry police chief and turning a valve makes steam. Anytime you see a valve, just spin it. Steam will come out somewhere. That's a thing that happens. I also did like the fact that the agriculture robot looked like Wall-E. They killed Wall-E. Anyway, what was I going to say? I had another direction I wanted to go down. Now I can't think of it. This movie does follow my rule. If I take a lot of notes, I didn't like it. I got a lot of notes on this movie. Like, oh, and so again, back to the police, to the police going to investigate an agriculture bot that went crazy. Like, so here's my question. All right, here's the ultimate question. What is the bad guy's plan? Right, he kind of says it in the movie, but not really. Like, what's the plan? Anybody got an idea?
I thought he was just going to keep making robots go crazy.
Why?
And kill people? Because it's Kiss.
Anybody else got an idea why?
No.
I have no idea.
All right.
No, right?
I mean,
okay.
Okay.
Which is the reason why it lost my attention.
Yeah.
So
the stakes are so weird. Not until he kidnaps the boy do we care
Right.
at all.
right. Yeah, I mean, even when he stabs Kirstie Alley in the neck, like, you all saw that coming. Like, he's gonna kill her. He's gonna kill the other guys. He killed Johnson. He killed the other guy. So all I have to say about that is
Not a great plan.
so there you
A
go.
few years back, Jack was chasing this guy.
Oh wait, stop.
Bad guy.
Stop.
And well, and I have to say that knife went into her neck nice and smooth.
Yeah, it did.
So I guess he must have gotten perfectly between some of the joints in the
You know,
spine. Yeah.
whatever, it's fine. And it was she was a throwaway character anyway. She sucked.
She's a little throwaway.
That's Miss Rogers you're talking about.
Wait, what?
Her character, her name is
Oh,
Miss
yeah.
Rogers.
Oh, is it really?
Rogers.
Rogers. Just can't double check.
Yeah. It's
right.
Jackie Rogers.
Oh wow. The film depicts an early variation of social media which predated MySpace. What?
Yeah, I remember him talking about his social page.
Oh,
Something.
yeah.
Yeah, they were.
Or
They were
social.
talking about something.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, I remember that too. Anyway, sorry, I'm looking at the trivia. Some of the trivia sucks. And Andrew, back to your point, you said maybe it was a low budget. I can't find.
Yeah, I couldn't find it either.
So
But clearly, I mean, I was looking at it from the aspect of the technology. If you look at movies like Ghostbusters, and Ghostbusters is not great, but at the same time, it was believable, even though it's a movie about killing ghosts or catching ghosts. It's somewhat believable with the technology. If you look at something like Batman, also 1984,
89.
9.
is that 89?
Nice. Yeah. It's a
Oh,
little
well,
bit.
still, it's a little ways past it, but there's there's a couple of things that in this movie take it even further back. Go to Star Wars. If you have robots and androids,
good-looking robots
that actually, I don't know,
but
these look like radios that somebody put on top of an RC car. And
in small defense to this movie, in the robots compared to Star Wars, and again, Star Wars wasn't super big budget. The difference is that there are humans inside those robots,
right,
to give them lifelike things. The only ones that didn't have them are those little things that rode around on the ground, but those are it's just an RC car with a box on it, exactly. So whatever. But that Chewie sometimes for some reason screams at. But and it runs away like it's scared. So in this, I understand that the robots are going to be weird and awkward. The spider robots are awful, right? They really are terrible. And maybe back then, you're right. Maybe back in 1984, that seemed scary that these things could jump to walls and they could somehow defy gravity. Like, how could it climb to the bottom of the elevator? Like, that didn't make sense. Like, how could it?
It was always there.
It's just, well, but like, how? Do they have magnets on their feet or something? I don't know.
Well, obviously they can jump.
Really well. I still don't. They didn't. If the only source of danger is the needle in the front, can't you just pick it up from the top and throw it? Because apparently they have a self-destruct mechanism in them if they fall more than 2 feet. Right? Because every time he kicked one out, it would blow up for some damn reason. So I don't know. Whatever. It's fine. What else? Sorry, getting to my script. I do have a couple of good clips I'm excited about. Why does Gene get access behind the police barricade? That police barricade sucked. Okay, let's talk about the media for a second. And Sam made a reference because in my post to Aaron middle name, how the media sucks. The media is in this movie twice, right? This reporter lady and her camera person are in the movie. Camera guy goes into an active shooter crime scene. I don't care what freedom of speech bullshit you throw out. That would never happen. Ever. In the history of America. Would never happen. And then he gets his ass shot, right? The camera guy gets killed. And then there's no consequence from that. It's not even mentioned.
And he kind of looks at him like,
yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah, whatever. He comes out like, I would have actually expected the police chief. Ramsey, you let that guy get killed. He went in there by himself. It's your job to blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot him in the foot with a laser or something.
Like,
I don't know.
He just rolled his eyes that the guy was standing in the doorway. And that was like the extent of his reaction to it.
Like, right, exactly.
He's like, oh, are you kidding me? You're following me with the camera. And that was the end of it.
Right.
His reaction.
Yeah, like not one beat cop out there could have been like, no, you're not going in there. I'm going to restrain you. You're under arrest for impeding a crime scene. I mean, like, that was so stupid. And he got shot, which, okay, now we're getting into the nitty gritty here. That clawed machine, how did that machine kill 2 people? The thing was only 1.5 feet tall. At worst, it stabs you in the ankle. Right? Like, how does that thing even...
You know, there are some arteries in the legs.
Okay, you're right. You're right. There are arteries.
And I would think a robot would know exactly where to go.
Totally fine with that aspect. I'm totally with you. But, okay, first of all, how does that thing cook dinner? It's 1.5 feet tall. Like,
small ovens?
Is it climbing onto the counter and chopping the carrots and stuff? That seemed all weird, but whatever. But then in my second part, it's just a claw, right? It's 2 pinchers. It's less tech than a claw machine at Walmart. Yet somehow that thing is able to pull back the hammer of a revolver and fire it. I mean, come on. Don't treat us like that. Don't do that to us, Michael Crichton.
I mean, I'm still stuck on this because do you think back to the Jetsons? And I know that's an animated show, but that was way before this. I don't even know when the Jetsons was.
Oh, that's
on
the
the air,
50s,
but...
very 50s. Because the wife, there's the cat. She's behind you.
Anyway, the whatever she is, the
Rosie
maid,
the robot. Yeah, that's Rosie.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a better understanding on that animated cartoon of what a robot that could cook and clean and do chores should. I mean, I don't know.
Well, even the helper robot.
Well, how about this? It's change out the robots.
Okay.
Put the little housekeeping robot, what was her name, as that killer robot, and I can understand that a little bit more.
Yeah. I'm okay with
Right?
that. You're right. Like,
Yeah.
I just, you know what? What movie did this better? iRobot.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
I mean,
Well, yeah, but it's really. I mean,
I know the technology is different, but the point is that those robots are humanoid. Is the problem, right? Is that I can see how one of those robots can pick up a knife and kill you because they're quick and your height. I just if the thing picked up a knife and started coming towards me, I could get in a chair and get away from it. I just don't know. I don't know how it killed you. Oh, hello.
Oof.
I just don't know how it killed people. I get the gun part. It shoots. I shot someone. I'm still not sure how it pulled a trigger, but whatever. And again, so then we go back to the second camera girl. It was a camera woman this time when they're in the hotel, and he's cursed up. He drops the obligatory F-bomb for a PG-13 movie, which when this movie was made, PG-13 didn't exist. That's why you see naked lady boobies. The obligatory 1980 naked woman doing nothing except just
in the strip club. Yeah.
Well, no, she was just in her bathroom, right?
Was it?
Yeah, it was just in her bathroom. Remember, he was getting ready to
It's like
break
a hotel.
into. Yeah,
Sorry, wrong movie. I must have been watching something else later that day.
Yeah, something more entertaining, like striptease. But even Die Hard did this. Even Die Hard, when the bad guys are clearing out the rooms to get all the hostages together, there's two people doing it on the table, but all you see is her boobies. And it's like, 80s were like, hey, we should put some boobies in our movie for whatever. You know, like there's no reason other than to do it.
Big deal. Yeah.
Anyway, what was the point? The point was, that reporter lady. So she's like, the people have a right to know. He should have turned. It's like, your last camera guy was killed trying to do whatever. You were saying, like, throw that back at her. That's your fault. I just, there was no consequences to that.
Cameramen are kind of like sound guys. They're kind of a dime a dozen.
Stop it. Oh,
so you could really just kind of get a new one. And
so mean.
Different.
That's actually there's proof that that's not true. Whoever was operating the camera at the Appalachian UNC Charlotte football game this weekend was atrocious. So, and if you listen to the show, I'm sorry, but you did a bad job. So,
I don't think they listen to the show.
Probably don't. Anyway, no.
Our listener is not.
I know. Yeah, our listener doesn't. You know, I miss Jen, listener Jen. She was.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
I miss Jen
She
too.
probably doesn't listen to the show anymore.
I wonder what scared her away.
Probably just how much we suck. That's all I think.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Aaron.
I can be great.
We kind of, what happens is we attempt to talk about a movie for a while, and then we sit around and
diverge
and whine about how bad we are. And usually I end up eating a whole bag of cheese puffs and crying in my floor in the fetal position.
Yeah. I'm still confused. Do we think it's cool? The Patriot bullet thing, is that cool?
The what thing?
You know, what is your
the bullet that has the solid rocket fuel and explosive tip or whatever you're talking about?
Oh yeah, where it goes around corners and stuff.
Yeah,
Well, I'm okay with the idea of it, but the way that it was executed, I thought was terrible.
Right.
Because if you know anything about a bullet, it doesn't spin that way.
No.
It doesn't go to the left and then spin back to the right and then, go upside down for a while. And
now a drone could.
Well, a drone could, yeah.
Well,
I could. The new tech would basically be a drone following somebody and shooting from above them. Where it could go around corners or
But like I'm okay with a heat-seeking bullet. I'm actually okay with it.
Well,
but
this was not only a heat-seeking bullet; it was a specialized. This is the person I'm going after bullet.
And how did it know that? That's the problem.
Because they tried to explain that by saying their heat signature of each person was different.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, that's very true. That's fine. But how did he program that?
Yeah.
Like when he's firing randomly, how does the bullets know to only kill Ramsey? Like that's what doesn't make sense. Did he do that ahead of time? And if that's all it takes, then you just find whatever the range of the bullet is, right? The bullet has to have a finite range, right? So let's say it's 1,000 yards. Then just
when they cut open the bullet too, it only had a certain amount of propellant.
Right, that's what I'm saying. There's obviously a finite range. It has a range, a limited range. But if all you have to do is just I Google Ramsey's heat sig, and I program it and download it into my bullet gun or my missile gun, I could just fire them off randomly and probably kill him, right? But it was also weird. Like the bullets knew to go through pipes and to go over some things, but when it was aimed at Ramsey, they would just run into tables.
That's what I had a problem with. Like, why? Okay, was it even cool to go through a pipe? I mean, was it the cameraman saying, "You know, it would be really awesome, dude, if we made this.
We got a small camera we can push through the pipe."
Why the F do we need it to go through a pipe? Well, I mean, I think it would look cool. Okay, sure, go for it.
You do realize that it'll be a different speed going through the pipe as it does go outside, right? Oh, that's fine. Okay. It's going to look different, too, because it's a different kind of camera. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, you're not wrong. It was dumb. I didn't like it. I mean, I will say this. This movie is ripe for a remake.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's perfect for a remake. With you change. I don't mean Terminator where things become sentient. I mean, you still need an individual who is out to cause havoc via machines, and you don't have to make him a hacker, right? It can be a hardware issue, just like it was in this movie, and they can be played by a psychopath. Get Javier Bardem, whatever he's doing, and get him to put in these evil chips inside machines or whatever. And I don't know. There's a way you can do it. Get the guy who directed the Kingsman, and we'll get the young kid from Kingsman to be the hero. I mean, I think there's legs for this. I really do.
Yeah.
Especially with as many drones, like your iRobot vacuum cleaner comes after you with a knife and cuts you in the foot. No, anyway. Actually,
stabbing your foot. Ow!
Ow! Stop it!
What are you? Ow!
How did you even get a knife? You're a vacuum cleaner. Did I leave it?
I mean, all you have to do is get up on the counter.
Exactly. And then it'll run over your dog poop and spread it all over the carpet. Oh wait, that happened to my dad.
I don't know. Even if this was done today, unless they fix those robots, and even if they use household appliances, like you're saying, your whole issue of just run slightly faster than it,
I still don't know how that cop lady didn't. I mean, they make so much noise when they're crawling around. They scream like crickets and cicadas. I just don't understand how you couldn't hear that stupid thing. Anyway,
for some reason, I think we've seen this movie.
Oh yeah,
remade.
We've seen iRobot. I mean,
the theme is out there. I'm trying to think of the movie.
Well, yeah, Geostorm. You got a bad guy who takes a technology and tries to kill a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Only him doing it was for the quote unquote greater good.
I tell you, Michael Crichton loves to take his idea of a technology rung amok, killing a bunch of people.
Yeah, he does.
Well, I think that it's a fear that is a real fear that people have.
Mm-hmm.
The movie we watched the other week,
Ex Machina.
Ex Machina. I mean, like there are people that legitimately think, and maybe it will happen one day, that technology eventually is going to take over the world.
Like Terminator.
Yeah. And I mean, there are people that believe that, but then again, there's also people that believe that the world's flat and whatever. But
Did you see the picture of the hurricane from the satellite? Because I did.
Oh, that's only proof that it is flat.
That's all it is. Yeah, that's
the distortion of the lens, right?
That's just what, the media
using a concave lens. Well, that's why.
It's Photoshop. It's not real.
It was photoshopped, right?
We never landed on the moon.
Flat earthers people drive me crazy. They really do. Like, and I appreciate the fact that one of the guys, I don't remember who it is a rapper that came out. I appreciate the fact that he used science to quote unquote prove the earth is flat. He said if the earth is round and you fly above it in an airplane, shouldn't the airplane always be angled down? Right? To make the curve of the earth, right? So he actually took a plumb line into an airplane to measure how the degrees off the axis the plane was flying. And since it was flying flat, that proves that the earth is flat. And it's like, that's not how this works. It's like that. It's like that quote, that commercial, that insurance commercial. That lady says, that's not how that works. That's not how any of this works. But anyway, it just drives me crazy.
People have seen like a ball before, right? I mean,
yeah.
Oh,
well, whatever. It's fine. Flat earthers, if you listen to the show and you're a flat earther, email us that you hate us. That's fine.
Please email us.
Yes, I would love to see that one.
I don't even care if you're not a flat earther. Just email us and tell us you are.
Yeah.
Just you know what? Sign us up for some spam just so we get to
yeah, don't do that. I don't want that.
So there you go. I'll send some more Chick-fil-A emails your way.
I would even go for a catfishing right now. Just something to.
Yeah.
Send me money and I'll send you pictures of my. Never mind. That's catfishing, right? That's kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah, sort of.
It's more like prostitution, but what you do is on your own time.
Yeah, I will say this: we do get plenty of junk in the Cheapseat Reviews email inbox.
Oh,
not the email, but it goes straight to the junk folder. Get rid of your tax debt. Zippy loan.
But what Sean is trying to say is, we get so little mail that his excitement is checking the junk folder.
Yeah, I really am right now. Make money with Lyft. Jean from SEO Google Ads. So anyway, I do check the junk folder a lot. It's really sad.
Oh man, that's great.
Anyway,
what mail do we have today?
Oh, more junk. Oh, at least
Sean's like that 92-year-old man that kind of meanders to the mailbox every day just to hopefully have some connection to the outside world.
Yeah. Did you guys think that the whole having a psychic that?
What was that?
That was a thing. I don't know if you remember, but that was the thing. My mom used to always watch the, the talk shows, the Maury Povich and the Jerry Springer and that kind of stuff. Yeah. Well, not really Springer, but
I mean, my favorite
shows like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And there were police psychics for a while. I don't know if there still are, but that was the thing for a while.
One of my favorite shows of all time is a TV show called Psych, but he's faking it.
Right.
Which makes it funny.
Which is a great show. But.
Right. It is a great show. Anyway, that part was weird. It just seemed weird in a movie full of technology and science. Here's a psychic.
Yeah, to me, that's a total anti-Michael Crichton idea.
Yeah.
Because he's always been so rooted in the real.
She looked like the librarian from Ghostbusters.
Yes, she did.
Yes.
I was thinking that too.
I wonder if she is.
We sure she wasn't?
No, actually, I'm going to check. I'm actually curious. Let's see. What was she? Just psychic?
I would guess so. Julia.
Is that what's her name? No.
I have no idea.
I
paid that close attention.
Pilot, Ruby, no. Cameraman, Data Tech, no. Hooker, no. Cop 1, Cop 2.
Oh, wait, that was her.
She had lines, so she had to have had a name. Inspector Sally, no. Miss Shields, was that her? No. Was it Miss Shields? I don't know. I can't see. It doesn't. She doesn't have a. I don't know. I will say this. This is kind of random, right? So, scroll down to where is she? Shoot, where'd she go? Hooker at bar, right? She's the one that was the naked. She was at the bar, and he used as a human shield. Gene Simmons did as a human shield to get away, and then they grabbed her. Her name is Anne Marie Martin. And I clicked on her. I was like, I wonder who she is. She's kind of attractive. Oh my gosh, she freaking wrote Twister.
Whoa.
She wrote the movie. Like she did like the screenplay for Twister. Like she's been nominated for 2 Oscars.
And she played.
Yeah, she was a nominee. She's worked in sound and for visual effect. Oh, hold on, that's not right. Where'd she go? I clicked on the wrong thing. She's won one award. She won a Razzie Award for Twister. I clicked on the wrong thing. She won a Razzie Award, worst written film, grossing over $100 million for Twister.
Oh, I like Twister.
Did you read that she was also married to Michael Crichton?
I liked Twister.
Yeah, she was previously married to Michael Crichton. Yeah, that's probably how she got in the movie. As Hooker at bar. It is kind of funny when she's like, "My body is rocking. Yeah, you could touch it. It's okay." And he's like, "No."
What do you say though when you're director of a movie and your wife's like, "Can I be in your movie?" Yeah, you can be the hooker.
Well, I wonder if it was like the other way around. Like, hey, we need a hooker. You want to be it? I don't know. You're not wrong.
I don't know. I think my wife would slap me if I said, "Do you want to be a hooker in my movie?"
She slaps you when you say, "Let's
Were
go
they
out
married during the time this was filmed?
I don't know.
That's true. That's a good question.
Maybe they got married after that.
Yeah, maybe this is what led to their. This is what led to the romance.
I'm writing a book about dinosaurs, and
no, they got married in '87.
Okay. Yeah, so she was the hooker for his movie, and then they got married.
Yeah.
Nice. Maybe. Well, never mind.
Actually, Sam, for the dedication page for Jurassic Park reads for A and A-M and T, referring to Anne Marie and his daughter Taylor.
Interesting.
She's best known for her role as Detective Dory Doreau on the situation comedy Sledgehammer. She auditioned for the role of Princess Leia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, good for her. So, anyway, good job, Hooker
And
at Bar.
she made it the hooker in this movie.
Hooker at Bar. Good job. She was in an episode of Doctor Strange. Cool. Anyway, so the self-driving cars were much more reliable in 1984 than we are now. That's kind of neat. I always liked the car bomb scene, but the plan B was always to do this jump between 2 moving vehicles to escape. Like that seemed more dangerous than shooting bombs with lasers on a public
road.
Right, like they're blowing up next to people driving. That just seemed really reckless.
Never mind that the explosions didn't seem big enough to do any harm to.
Yeah, like if that just would have gone off.
How it was like, oh, let me light my sparkler.
Right, yeah. If it had gone off under the car, it might like singe the tires.
That's the only pyrotechnics they can afford.
Yeah,
they went down to Cheap Joe's and Fireworks Shack and got them some sparklers.
They crossed the state line and
they
got
came
them
down the
some
south.
sparklers.
Well, they did film in Canada, so maybe you can buy more sparklers up there. I don't know.
Oh well, Canadian fireworks.
That's why
they're not loud.
They're polite fireworks.
Polite.
We don't want to be too loud, eh? Sorry, we don't. We got to be nice. We do have a Canadian listener. We have to be nice.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
We do.
Hi-oh. There. Hey.
Yeah, there. So I'll translate that for you, Mr. Canadian up there. So we darn tootin' if these robots got out of hand, and they come up there and they put some of their metal parts in some places that now that it's not a good place to have those metal parts now.
You totally.
Correction. We had a Canadian listener.
Oh my gosh, Sam! You morphed that thing from your Minnesota accent, which people don't know. Sam lived in Minnesota for a time, so he legit does have that accent.
I've got lots of family up there.
When
He's part of
Sam
Say
goes,
that was pretty good for. I've been to Minnesota.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's pretty spot on for Minnesota.
When he goes to visit family for 2 weeks and then comes back, it takes him a while to shake it off.
Oh gosh,
But-
it's like glue. It sticks to you. You can't get rid of it.
You need to come back and listen to this audio of this podcast and listen to yourself, Sam, because you got a little Southern in there. And,
Oh, did I really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You dipped
Just a
redneck a
tad.
little bit, yeah, like Canadian redneck. It was pretty great.
All
That's
right.
good.
Yeah, it was very good. I'm actually trying to look to see if we do still in fact have our
Canadian listener.
Yeah, I'm just curious. So anyway,
He's too polite to stop listening. He really wants to stop.
no,
Oh boy, I just can't stop listening to this troll.
well, he did.
I feel bad for him, so I'm going to stick around.
They didn't download an episode for Ex Machina, though we did have one download in Mexico. We had 3 in England, which would be kind of cool if that was Jibba. 1 in France and 2 in Ireland. So
Yeah.
that's kind of cool.
Maybe the one in Mexico was that the actress that we really like.
The actress that we really like.
What actress?
Sam has this
Catherine
weird.
Zeta-Jones.
Yeah, he has this delusion that Catherine Zeta-Jones is from Mexico, or she's actually Welsh.
She's a Welshman.
Yeah. So I bet she probably heard that we were talking about her.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it was. I'm sure. Exactly. Oh my gosh. On our episode, now I know people don't really care about this stuff, but this always fascinates me. On our Buckaroo Bonsai episode, which I'm actually surprised didn't get as many, it didn't have as many downloads as our normal kind of volume. We have one downloaded in Colombia. So you think that the person that was like traveling from, like they started in Colombia and they get to Mexico because that was the next week. We still have our 2 UK listeners. That's just fascinating that it went from Colombia to Mexico. I'm going to go back one more week.
We've got a drug runner as a listener.
I know. Oh, that'd be cool. Oh my gosh, dude. We have our Iron Man episode. We have one in Russia.
What?
We have a listener in Russia. Ooh.
Oh, Mother Russia.
And 2 in Germany.
Yeah.
So
What about do your accent, Sean?
pigs in a blanket, yeah. It's so racist. It sucks.
Every time they talk about the European model for this hurricane, that's what I think about is you saying that.
Hurricane in a blanket, yeah. So the last time we had our Canadian listener was on The Disaster Artist. So, but still, we have German listeners. That's really cool that we have German listeners. We have a couple of consistent German listeners and some in France. That's really cool. We are an international podcast.
Thank you, folks, for listening.
Yeah.
Or if it's just one person going lots of places, that's fine too.
That's fine too. Or if it's just a kid who accidentally downloaded us on their mom's phone, I'm fine with that too. Anyway, you ready for some clips? I don't really have much else to talk about the movie. Actually, I will say this. Last 2 things I want to say. First of all, I totally feel him in the elevator when it flies up and he's looking over the edge, because I also too have a fear.
I thought that was a great shot in a movie that's filled with horrible direction.
Yeah.
That was a good shot.
Yeah.
I could feel his fear of the heights, because I get it, right? I'm the same way, especially in an elevator that's on the outside of the building that doesn't have a freaking door. Like, I know
that's pretty open.
Yeah, robots don't need doors, but OSHA still needs to have people go up there to service them. There's no way that there's no door on that anyway.
No. Yeah.
And
Did something happen with the audio in that scene?
I don't know.
Or was it just quiet?
Maybe it was quiet on purpose. I don't know.
Because I'm full disclosure, and I hope no authorities are listening, but I was watching this while driving down the road. But I was piping it through my Bluetooth on my speakers in my truck,
Right.
and there was a silence, and I thought, "Oh God, something's wrong with the audio." but I didn't want to stop and check because I was driving.
Everything about that story is awful.
Yeah.
And my very last note is: did we really need the Gene Simmons last jump scare of him screaming?
What the hell?
That was gratuitous.
But,
It was thrown in there.
But it bookended this movie with two really horrible ideas.
Yeah, it's
The
really
farm scene and this jump scare that
it was so dumb.
I was thinking, we're not watching like a Halloween or a Friday the 13th,
You okay, Sam?
or one of those kind of movies. I was kind of like, what? I didn't understand that either. So definitely a good point.
Sam, mute yourself if you're going to start fondling your microphone again.
I was going to say, what are you fighting with it?
I just realized the microphone was above my eye this entire time.
You sounded great. You should have left it.
There, I'll just keep it up there then if I'm sounding good.
No, you sound great, and that way you're not tempted to dick around with it.
See, look, it's way up there in my eye.
Oh, it sounds great. It's like a sci-fi thing where you look through it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Clippy clip number 1. They say the name of the movie.
Jack Ramsey.
Karen Thompson.
I'm on my way.
What's up? Got a runaway, Jack?
Yeah, sounds like it.
Ooh, they got a runaway.
They said the name of the movie like 30 times.
Yeah, they did do it several times. Yeah, that was just the first time they said it, so that's why I captured it. Here's Andrew's poop joke.
What have you done so far? Power and utilities cut, white light bath, white sound bath. Floater? Not yet. Can you prep one for me? Right now.
Prep the floater. Okay,
I've got that taken care of.
to our sound people in the room, listen to this statement.
What have you done so far? Power and utilities cut, white light bath, white sound bath.
White sound bath? Can anyone tell me what that is?
Well, it's when you take a bath using white sound.
What is white sound?
It's a new spa technique in which you sit in a very clean room and they pipe in white noise. White noise like static.
No, I know what white noise is. That's a term.
White noise is different than white sound.
And the frequency is such that it will cleanse your skin from impurities.
So, Sam, you actually don't realize this, but you just described something from Star Trek.
Oh, really?
In Star Trek, they don't use water on starships. They use what they call sonic showers.
Well, that would suck.
Right. So you actually just kind of described the thing in Star Trek. But they don't call it white sound. It's called white noise. That's what it's called. And if there was white noise, there would be huge speakers out there going... Like that's
which I experienced that for the first time the other day.
What, white noise?
Yeah, we had a sound tech come to our auditorium, and we were doing a concert for a bluegrass group, and he was checking the auditorium, and I was like, "Oh, never heard anybody do this before."
He was called tuning the PA, and he was actually using pink noise, not white. But that's not
pink noise. Yeah, that he did say pink noise.
That's what I do for a living. So you should have called.
I know.
Me.
I need you to come visit sometime.
Oh,
What, a singer?
Pink noise? It does sound like it's a Pink Floyd tribute band.
Or like the pink girl.
Oh, sure, pink.
Just pink.
Just pink.
Yeah, just pink.
Pink noise.
Like her music.
Pink noise is a Pink Floyd and a Pink tribute band. They do both.
There you go.
That'd be cool. Pink noise is actually a pretty good name for a band. Not like an '80s kind of retro
hair band.
Like I'm actually with you there. Okay, clippy clip number 3. Oh, okay. I have to give you a preface on this. This is when Ramsey is in the house and he's trying to disarm the knife wielding trash can with his laser thing, and it's making noises. And I swear to God, I thought it was just Michael Winslow talking into a microphone. Okay, here you go.
This is the 80s.
You're telling me that's not a human? That's a person.
It's definitely a human.
It's a person. This made me laugh.
Damn evil son of a bitch.
That's right. Damn evil son of a bitch. We got to remind everybody that he's a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a bad guy.
He's a bad guy. Well, he's a bad guy. The only line that guy says, he's not yelling at somebody. All right. Here's one of my other really big tech issues.
This is Ramsey.
Okay, this is a 30-second clip just because I kind of liked the dialogue between the two. But then there's a moment that I had to roll my eyes at, so just hang in there.
This is Ramsey.
You're lucky to be alive, Ramsey. You should have led the robot disarm it.
I saw you watch television. What's on your mind?
I watch, I look, I listen. I'm watching you now.
Yeah, right. What's on your mind, Luther?
You're standing by the desk in the middle of the room punching buttons on the console, trying to trace this call, which won't do shit. Because I'm calling from a mobile phone. Now you're looking around. Now you're cupping your hand over the receiver.
He's tapped into the closed-circuit TV. Kill that monitor!
I can't hear what you're saying now, but you're right. I've tapped into the TV line. Now you're cupping your hand over the receiver.
Hey, listen, here we go.
He's tapped into the closed-circuit TV. Kill.
You cannot do that. There's a reason why it's called closed circuit. Unless he physically went into the building and physically tapped a wire onto the wire.
Yeah, maybe he designed a flying robot that's as small as a dragonfly, and it just went over there and
you're right.
clamped on.
He sent in a floater that did a thing. That made me laugh. And then he says, kill the monitor.
Maybe in 2018.
Yeah.
And then he says, kill the monitor, which he actually meant to say camera.
Camera, right. I was thinking the same thing.
Turning the monitor off.
Yeah, kill that monitor. I would have gone over and turned off a monitor.
Yeah, I don't want to look at myself. Turn that thing off.
Turn that monitor off. Okay. Why did I turn that off? I meant the camera. Oh, well, you have to be specific, sir. We are a tech-based police force. You can tell that a microchip is evil, but
they're pretty inefficient for a tech-based police force.
Yes.
Yeah, whatever. And this is some bad acting from Gene. Here you go.
The templates, Ramsey.
After he's down. After he's safe.
There's a little problem about that, Sergeant. I can't have any witnesses. It's too messy. The spiders have been programmed to kill the first person that comes out of the elevator. Oh, they'll let you in, but they won't let you out. And there's nothing you can do about it, Sergeant.
So let me after my monologue, I'm going to stand here and stare at you while you try to get your son to stop the machine. Yeah.
But the whole movie, when he talks, he's just normal talking dude, and then this movie he gets all weird and gravelly for some reason. It's just he changed his voice. It's basically like what Chris Pratt does when he meets Thor in Avengers 4. He's like, wait, or 3. Like, are you changing your voice? No, I am not changing my voice. You're making it lower. No, I'm not. Like, he could just change his voice to make him sound more menacing. It was really dumb. Okay, now, my last clip is from earlier in the movie. I also hate this in movies. I don't like it when people are talking over other people in the dialogue. Like, it's one thing to have, like, just background people kind of chatting and it's just noise. Right? And then, like, the actor's like, hold on, we gotta listen to this. Like, but, like, this is just such chaos, it's hard to understand what's happening.
Now they sure took long enough to get here. Yeah.
Hi, fellas, what's the problem?
They're running a zigzag course.
I'm not going in that field after.
Wait,
No
took fuel cells will blow right up in your face out
Go
there.
on in there and take a look. You have this thing serviced?
Service regular.
Like, who am I supposed to listen to in that? It's madness.
I feel like this was a thing, though, in earlier
Jaws
movies.
did it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they would, I almost feel like the director would say, all right, you guys just talk about something.
Right.
And it would just be random.
Yeah.
So they would talk over each other.
No.
And I don't know if it's maybe the scene was ad-libbed or if they just gave them an idea to talk about. But I feel like that's probably what happened.
But
there was no actual dialogue written out.
But here's the problem, is that for whatever reason, directors think that's how people are. And that's not how people are, right? The four of us are having a conversation right now, and
we never
interrupt.
I know. We just
Okay, but it's one thing
we don't want
for
to talk
you-
over each other.
Yeah, it's one thing for you to interrupt me like you're doing, obviously for the point of the joke. But like they're just talking over each other. There's no point. It's so weird. And they do it like 3 other times in the movie. That's just the scene that stuck out of my head. It drives me crazy. All right.
Well, and also you've got the main, you've got Tom Selleck there where you can hear him clearly.
Yeah.
And then everybody else is just mumbling.
Right, and then that peanut gallery continued to do it until they got at the end. Even after they got the robot, they all still continued to do it. Like none of them were given lines.
Yeah,
they were just said, just talk about what's happening on the scene. All right, here we go.
And now for some more bad news. Ready?
There's a lot of trivia, and I frankly didn't have time to go through all of it, so I only wrote down a few things. Gene Simmons in his book Sex, Money, Kiss said that Michael Crichton's casting of him was based primarily on an audition where Crichton asked Simmons to stare at him for about a minute without making any facial expressions. Apparently, Crichton decided that Simmons looked so menacing enough and cast him for the role of Luther. The film, we talked about this earlier, the film accurately predicts domestic robots, video mail, social media, the internet, voice-activated computers, biometric security, camera drones, tablet PCs, wireless headsets, and that police officers would use semi-automatic pistols as sidearms. Because in '84, most police officers still used revolvers. And then the last one I put down, an assistant director came up to Gene Simmons during location filming and said that one of the off-duty Vancouver police doing crowd control pointed at Simmons and said, "You better get that guy out of here." Upon being assured by the assistant director that he was one of the actors, the cop continued, "I don't know. If I shook hands with him, I'd count all my fingers." That's a Vancouver cop. So if the Vancouver police are saying, "I don't trust that guy," there's something to it. So, all right, there you go.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
All right, we decided to do best movies based on Michael Crichton books. And we basically all agreed Jurassic Park is the best. We just kind of universally agreed to that.
Overall, over everything.
Yeah, and I think we're all good with that, right, team?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, Jurassic Park 3 is the best of them all. Yeah. So, talking velociraptors, it's the best part of any sci-fi series ever. Blowing into the fossilized vocal cord of a velociraptor will make them listen to you and obey your commands. That's all real, right? That's in the book, right, Sam?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, that's totally,
Crichton was
totally
way ahead of his time. I mean,
although he did write Lost World, and in that they had some sort of sound thing that would keep the T-Rex away.
They did, but he also only wrote that book because Paramount said, "We're going to pay you
money.
a boatload of money," and so that's why he brought back from the dead Ian Malcolm, because he died in the book. Spoiler. It's an old book. All right, as tradition dictates, Andrew, you shall go first.
Okay. Well, I can't do a top three because I've only seen one other Michael Crichton movie. But I do like it a lot. And I think we actually did it for the podcast before I was on the show. And you guys didn't like it too much. But that was Timeline. And I like Timeline. I think it's a good movie. I own it. I bought it when it came out. And
I love the book. The book really is good.
There's some problems with it, I'll give you that. But I do like it. And I mean, I've seen all the Jurassic Park movies, of course, but I haven't seen any other Michael Crichton film. I think I saw parts of Congo, but not the whole thing.
Oh, you missed Congo?
Yeah.
Oh, we had a great throwback earlier before the podcast.
I played basically all of the clips from Congo. I still have them all.
The Sesame Cake.
Oh yes. Yeah. Just stop eating it. Just stop eating.
Just stop eating I don't have it handy. Shoot, where is it?
Stop eating my sesame cake.
There you go. So, this one made Sam laugh really loud. I don't know why, but here you go.
Karen Ross.
That's me.
Monroe Kelly. I'm your great white hunter for this trip, though I happen to be black.
All right, sorry.
Oh.
All right, anyway.
I just love the way he delivers the line. It's perfect.
It is. It's just great. And that accent's totally fake, and it's great. He's great. I like him a lot. There you go, Ernie Hudson. May you ever reign as the Black Ghostbuster. Okay. Aaron, you're up.
Yes. Well, like Andrew, I don't think I've seen a whole lot of the other movies that he did or wrote, other than maybe like Twister. I did see Congo, but it's been so long, I don't even really remember it. But from what you guys are telling me, it doesn't hold up. So I don't know if I'll rewatch it. So I would have to say I really liked Twister. I mean, I don't know. It was a good suspenseful movie, and I think I enjoyed that one for what it is.
All right.
So that'd probably be my next one behind the Jurassic Park series, I guess.
Okay, that works.
I forgot about Twister. I like that one too.
Yeah, it's not based on a book, right? He just wrote it.
No,
I think he just wrote
a screenplay.
He's just a writer on that, and he was a producer in that too. Apparently, I didn't know that.
If you have Stars through your cable service provider, you can watch Congo on Amazon. If you have the Stars subscription, so just saying that you could do that. That's a thing. I actually think you should watch it personally.
You think I should watch it?
I do. Oh my gosh, the guy that directed that, he also directed Jurassic World.
Well, there you go.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, that can't be right.
No, Steven Spielberg did Jurassic. Oh no.
Jurassic World. Okay, hold on. I'm getting in a weird place now. Hold on. Give me a second.
Where? What? Who?
All right, Sam, you go. You do yours.
Okay. I am going to go in my number 3 spot, 13th Warrior.
Oh, sure, yeah, definitely.
Love that one. I got my Congo at 2, and I'm also right there with you with Twister at number 1. It was a heck of a lot of fun, and the first time where you felt like there was the special effects really made it look good. So
okay, I was way wrong. He did not direct Jurassic World.
Producer.
He was a producer on it. But he is he as an actor was the pilot in Raiders of the Lost Ark. I hate snakes, Jock. Oh, that's just my snake, Larry. Whatever he says. Yeah, that's Frank Marshall. That's the director of Congo. Anyway, what was your number 1, Sam? I'm sorry, I was reading.
Twister.
Twister. Okay, cool. Right on. Sorry. My number 3 is Twister. My number 2 is Congo, and my number 1 was 13th Warrior. So.
I never saw that one.
It's actually good. The book is very weird because it reads like an after-action report, but the movie is Antonio Banderas, and it's got knives and swords and weird people, and you know what Beowulf is,
right?
You know the story of Beowulf, right?
Yeah.
It's that. It's like a realistic.
It's what might have really happened.
That might have inspired the actual story of Beowulf. So it's a little bit realistic is the wrong word, but I mean there's no magic involved.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's just people, right? They're just humans who lived in the woods and they think they're bears. They're just weird. Then Antonio Banderas is in it and he's great. Yeah, go watch it. 13th Warrior. Highly recommend it.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. It's
Yeah,
directed by McTiernan. It's the guy who did Die Hard 1 and 3.
Die Hard.
Yeah. So that's it. That's the show. That's not it. I'm just lying. We have this to play.
Wait, what's supposed to happen?
Well, this is where we give our out of 10. You tell us. You meaning you three. Tell me. So now I'll write them down. What we will do for our out of 10. I can't talk. My gosh, why is this hard for me? Andrew.
I'm gonna have to say that this one's low on the totem pole for me. Let's go around to 3.12.
Okay.
0.12.
Yeah. We like to have decimal points, Aaron, because after doing 200 and something movies, you need decimal points to make the numbers not match. Because we didn't do that for a long time.
You'd have like a tie at like number 30 with 16 different movies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have a tie. Yeah, 30 to 38 are all 7.25. So, I wish we still had a place that was all visible again. Anyway,
I know.
Aaron.
Let's go with about a 2.89.
There you go.
Oh
God.
my balls! What
Andrew?
just happened?
That would be my cat.
Jesus!
I thought I was getting gonged for saying 2.89.
I thought it might have been a robot gone rogue at Andrew's house. The dishwasher that we normally hear is starting to go run away.
God, that was loud. What did she knock over? Like a gong? Like seriously?
Was it the gong?
Like
Don't you have a
like,
little?
like a
I'm
symbol?
gonna have to get up and go check on.
Bring your camera.
Yeah, take the camera. We want to see.
And we'll describe it for the listeners.
Yeah, this is great radio.
Oh, he took off his earphones. Shoot.
You can't hear it. All right, Sam.
Anyway, while Andrew is cleaning up after his cat, I'm gonna have to say very low. This is horrible. It's a bad movie in almost every single way. I'm gonna give it a 2.47 out of 10. It's just I don't want to watch it again. Don't make me.
All right, so I didn't mention this at all during the normal part of the show, but I feel obligated to do so. I watched this movie like a weirdly amount of times with my dad.
Really?
Yeah. Even with the F-bomb and the boobs, I watched this when I was a kid with Dad. Because for some reason, the spider robots actually kind of seemed terrifying to a 10-year-old. And the car chase scene was what I remember the most. I just thought it was so cool that they had a laser killing, or a robot killing laser out of the top of a police car. And so there's a nostalgia factor there. And I've also kind of realized that most of the movies that I have a nostalgia for, they're kind of bad. Which is weird, but whatever.
But it was the 80s, so...
Yeah, but like the first film I've said this a dozen times on this podcast, the first movie I ever saw with my dad in the theaters that I remember was Star Trek Generations. It's not a good movie. It's not a good Star Trek movie. But it's a special place in my heart because what it means to me, right? It was the first time Dad said, "Hey, you are now old enough to go with me to a movie theater. We're going to watch Trek." And so that has meaning to me, but it's still a bad movie. So I don't care. Like I would still rank it like at a 6.5, even though it probably would deserve a 3. You know. So this movie, though, it's not going to do that. It does gain a nostalgia point, but only one. So if I was going to give it a 3.15, I'm now going to give it a 4.15, just for the nostalgia point. So thanks, Dad.
And Kirstie Alley's hair being so big.
Yeah, her hair was a lot of
Kirstie.
Yeah, he's not going to say it right. He's going to. It's like every episode he looks for that one thing that he knows is going to bother me just a little bit, and he's got to cue in on it, you know.
I just thought I'd say it for you this time.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just it is what it is. Next time we're playing Battlefield, when you're dead, I'm not going to revive you.
Because you'll be playing Assault. Anyway.
Yeah, I'll be playing Assault. I'll just put dynamite on your face. And then you'll say, okay. So, sorry, that evolution clip has just been paid dividend. It's great. Though, Sam, I did find your. I had forgotten that I had lost this clip, but I found this.
Dick was being too hard.
I found that.
What was that from?
I have no idea, dude. I have no idea. I didn't put a name of a movie attached to it. Literally, the clip is titled "Sam Dick." That's all I wrote. So I have one of all of you, right? Because of course this is never going away.
In the bud, yes.
Yeah, that's never going away. So anyway, all right, that's it. That's our show. I'm gonna hit the.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm gonna hit the outro here.
Need to wrap it up before Florence Flo comes in.
Flo. Next week we're doing The Siege of Jaddotville. Jadotville. It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix, I think, original or partnered with Netflix. I have no idea what it's about. Sam put it on the list. You put it on the list like a while ago. It just kept getting.
It's about a bunch of Irishmen in Africa.
Is that what it is?
And I apparently can't do Irish.
No.
And,
Just pretend they're all from Minnesota.
oh yeah, don't you know?
Yeah. So that's what we're doing next week. And the week after that, I'm super excited. We're doing Space Hunter and the Forbidden Zone. I cannot freaking wait.
Didn't we just see one?
What? What
did we just watch?
Buckaroo Banzai?
Okay, never mind.
Space Hunter and the Forbidden Zone is a national treasure. I cannot wait to do that. But next week is Siege of That. So, but I have a minute. We need to make sure we need to get a list going for our Halloween films. If you have a request for us for Halloween movies, please Twitter, email, Facebook. I don't care. We need to get a list going because we really enjoy doing some interesting stuff. And okay. So anyway, and because of you guys, I was able to watch The Frighteners, which I freaking love. So anyway, that's gonna do it for the show. So on behalf of Andrew and Aaron, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron. This has been a lot of fun.
And Sam,
I know you're trying to get ready for Sunday, and with your leg
your legs hurt. So, yeah.
Well, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
So bad.